this video, we will be replacing the battery in this 2019 Jeep Compass. Taking a look inside the engine bay, we want to focus our attention on the driver's side portion of the engine, a little bit back towards the firewall. And taking a little closer look, we can see that battery unit with a bunch of other wires and components in close proximity. And with an even closer look, we can see the negative battery terminal, and then we can see all of the stuff on the positive side of the battery. We want to begin by removing the negative battery terminal. And with a 10mm socket, I can loosen up that negative battery terminal connection. And then we can gently wiggle off that negative battery terminal connection. And anytime I remove one of these connections, I do like to cover it with cloth and tape, just so it doesn't accidentally hit something. And then we're going to shift our focus to the positive side of the battery. We have two small tabs that need to be depressed so we can remove the cover to our positive terminal plate. And with that removed, we can see a connection point where two cables enter into this positive terminal plate. And using a 13mm socket, we can loosen this up and remove the nut. And again, I'm going to cover these in a piece of rag with a little bit of tape. And we'll kind of push these out of the way a little bit. And next we want to shift our attention to our hold down bracket for this positive terminal plate. And this is held on by two Phillips head screws. And if we take a very close look, we can see there are two small, tiny plastic black tabs that overhang our red bracket. We want to very carefully work that red hold down bracket around those black tabs and off of the battery. With that removed, we can shift our attention to the positive battery terminal connection. This also has a 10mm nut that we need to loosen. And with that loose, we should be able to work off that entire plate. And I'll use a little bit of tape to help hold that out of the way. We now want to find the battery strap and follow that down to the side of the battery. And with a 13mm socket, we can loosen this up. Now there is not very much room, and it is very tight getting in here. And make sure you do not lose the nut. And we then want to work that strap off of the post where that nut was. We might hit on the thermal blanket a little bit, so we need to kind of wiggle this around to be able to get this off. And the hardest part is actually wiggling the battery and thermal blanket out. The thermal blanket is getting caught on some of the wiring, so I did figure that I could reach in here with a standard head screwdriver and hold that back just a little bit to aid in the removal process. Once that was cleared, then I was able to work that battery out of there. And with our old battery removed, we want to first of all verify that our new battery is the correct size and type. This one looks good. We then want to transfer that thermal blanket to our new battery, and our old battery can go back to the store. We can then work our new battery into place, and that thermal blanket does like to get caught on everything. Working that strap back on is next. After that, we can connect our positive terminal plate. Make sure you remove the plastic covers. Followed by that small red hold down bracket. And those two Phillips head screws. And then we can reconnect those additional positive connection points. And make sure you snug down the actual terminal connection point. And our positive plate cover can come next. And lastly, we can reconnect that negative side. Making sure to first remove the plastic cover. And then snugging that down. And this repair is complete.